So I was gonna read cards, but I don't know. Well, I just got this little message to explain tarot cards, tarot readings, what they really are, what it really means. Break it down to a logical mind because it is a logical thing, and it's not magic. Anybody can do it. It's a tool. The same way you would use a hammer to hammer in nails, well then with this you just channel a certain channel that you want to get to. It's like you're a TV. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. Let me explain. So, the way that cards works is, for example, you've seen or you've heard of those pictures that like therapists show you. I forgot what it's called, but and then they're like, all right, what image do you see in this? That is literally like tarot. I should maybe not. Maybe that's not a thing that you can do. But basically, yeah, you can give a reading with those things depending on what that person sees. But because of that, because your mind looks at a picture of black like spots everywhere, and it's like it starts to make these connections, and it starts it starts looking like a tree, and that starts looking like a little bird and things like that. And then they start symbolizing things for you, right? So then you think of a tree and you're like, why am I thinking of a tree? And your favorite thing is trees, Okay, well, that's a little part to explain. The part that I was trying to explain by that is basically what connects your mind to the picture, which is, it's this. It shows you pictures and you see them and you interpret it. And that's why I say that anybody can be a reader. Now, the hill that you have to climb onto, what is the hill about? The hill that you have to cross is being like 100% sure of yourself, really trusting yourself, and it becomes so real when it's like, no, you can't just trust yourself. Like, you have to trust your mind. Do you trust your thoughts? And do you trust the things you're getting in your head? And do you trust your judgment? And are you comfortable sharing what you're thinking? And are you comfortable sharing that thought you just got? And are you comfortable making others feel uncomfortable for what you're seeing in your mind? And yeah, and it's really that. It's a whole process of turning on the TV, turning on the TV, turning on your whatever it is, your patience, your concentration, your interpretation skills. It's opening all that up, turning on the TV, letting it load for a second. Do you wait for the TV to load? And then starting to remember what channel you want to get to. And then you could think of that as for example, the topic or the question you ask. Let's say the topic is a relationship reading, right? So then we're going to direct to that channel. Now we are only focused on love, and we're only focused on relationships. And you can now make your interpretations more detailed, because now okay, well, this is about reading, so the messages I'm getting, they're gonna be about love. So now I should only be interpreting these through a love perspective. Does that make sense? Yes. Tarot cards, any tarot card pack that you buy, it's gonna come with a little book that shows you what each one means. If not, which I'm sure it should, but if not, then you can Google it. Buy a book. I have a book too. When I first got cards, I did not read any of that. One, because I cannot concentrate. I am such a procrastinator, so I knew I was not about to sit there and actually learn the definition of every single one of these cards. I was like, it'll just happen, like maybe today I read 3 cards and then in a week I read 4. I don't like to force myself to study something because I'm never gonna remember it like that, right? And tarot is all about the mind and the interpretation. So the power doesn't come from the cards. The power comes from your brain. I've had somebody that like, they're like, what's this? And they grabbed it, the cards, and then I was like, oh, they're tarot cards, and then they like dropped it like it was some tool like that was gonna kill them. But it's okay, I understand. So yeah, it's not in the cards, it's your mind. It's just a tool. That's what you're trying to remember. The same way, once again, if we think about the hammer, a hammer is just a hammer until you use it to do something with it, right? Until you use it to hammer in that nail. That's when it's of use, and that's when the cards are of use. If I didn't have these, I can do a reading with anything. You can do a reading if you rip pieces of paper and just write words on them and start shuffling them and take out things, because what you're doing is interpreting. You know, you're doing your own messages, and that's why sometimes people will channel these messages, will interpret these messages, tell you them, and then they may mess up in a little detail. For example, let's say that they're like, okay, do you have two brothers and one sister? And then for you, you're like, she must not be good, because it's not two brothers and one sister. It's, you know, my mom, my dad, and my brother, you know? And now it's like a little detail like that, when in reality, we are just a channel trying to get the best connection for you and for your messages. It's for everybody. Everybody can do it. It's not difficult. But yeah, going back to me starting off, yeah, I didn't read the definitions. It helps, or I like to say that it's better to not read the definitions first starting off, so that you can, you know, see what your brain knows by itself, right? If you were to see this card by itself, King of Wands, and you're like, okay, well, now I know it's a king. Now I know he has a wand. When I see this picture, he looks a little angry. Why does he look angry? The orange is sticking out. That looks like fire to me. So what does fire mean to me? Maybe it means action. It means moving. He looks like he wants to move. What is this little guy right here? Somebody watching him? Does he have somebody? Does he have somebody that helps him lead? What is he leading? What is he the king of? King means the leader of something, so then that means that he's strong enough to lead. So what is that? You know, you start going into it and blah blah blah. It's awesome. It's fun. It's a fun time always. And then you can you know, ask little fun questions. Like, I'm trying to think of a fun question I've asked. Oh, I think I've asked questions like, what does my cat think about me? So yeah, when it comes to reading too, the concentration part, that's the part that's gonna get you sometimes. You just have to trust yourself, and that's a whole other thing in itself that you want to maybe do before getting into tarot. But actually, it could actually start helping you, you know, challenge yourself into trusting yourself. Do I really trust what I just said, or do I trust this, you know? What's it called? What was I gonna say? Yeah, trusting yourself. I remember when I first got cards, my first thing I ever told myself was like, I just do not want to give somebody the wrong information. I do not want to give somebody the wrong information. Like, imagine trying to help somebody out in their life and you give them the wrong information. That was just my big thing. And because of that, because I was scared of that, I knew that I wasn't going to do it. And then that's when I reassured myself, like, oh, because you don't want to give anybody the wrong messages, you're not going to give anybody the wrong messages. And then that's, you know, that's another way of learning, like, oh, okay, I do trust myself, and I do trust what I'm trying to do, and what's coming out of my mouth, even when I don't understand what I'm saying. That happens to me a lot. Another thing that happens to me a lot is forgetting what I say in readings all the time. Other times, actually, I cannot forget the reading. Like, I think about it for 3 days straight, and not in a way of like, did I say something wrong? Did I say something? But it's just still there, and it's still in my mind. And what happens too after I give people readings is what's it called? I keep channeling for them. So I do always have to find a way to, you know, cut the cord on that one, because for like 3 days straight I'm getting I'm thinking of that one card that popped up for somebody's reading, and I'm getting more messages from it now that I wasn't able to say now, and then I'm like, well, should I go tell them? But then I'm like, no, the reading's over, so I'll end it there. But yeah, it always happens. I'm always getting more and more and more and stuff. It always ends at some point. What else should I say? They're just a really good time. They're fun. Yes, just trusting yourself. Just try it out. You should try it out. Everybody should try it out. I think maybe in 10 years, maybe less, everybody's gonna have a pack of tarot cards in their room, just like, you know, it's just a casual thing to have, you know, just your tarot cards, just chilling. It's nothing. Oh, just a tarot read. Hey, you got tarot cards too? Yeah, man. I have 4 more in the bag. Like, okay, yeah, it's just a tool. It's fun. I'm not gonna curse you, and I'm not gonna put a hex on you. That's a whole other thing on its own. But yeah, I think that's it. I just want to think real quick if anything else. Oh, because you are reading for somebody, what's happening, because I don't want to confuse you when I'm saying these are all coming from your mind, because then you think, well, then that means, well, then what does that have to do with the person I'm reading for, right? If I'm reading for somebody and I'm getting all these things in my head, then maybe that's things for you instead of the things for them. And whenever you are open to channeling, open to reading for somebody, you're doing it, you know, it's all about intent. And if your intention is, I am reading for this person, then that's once again where that trust comes in, where it's like, okay, so who are these messages for? Are these messages for this person? Or were you too concentrated on yourself? That's where you want to bring in concentration, patience, peace of quiet. Sometimes people meditate before reading. Sometimes people just need quietness before reading. What I like to do is quietness before reading, while I'm shuffling, or during it while I'm giving out the spread and stuff. I stay quiet while I think. Some people speak out loud when they're shuffling and stuff, like their intentions, like, all right, I want to get this, this is what I'm focusing on, blah, blah, blah. I speak about it. I speak it in my head when I'm doing it. It just helps me concentrate more and puts me more in a place of, like, I am here by myself and with this person, and it'll be fine. But yeah, just so that you don't, because that can happen where some messages pop up that you're like, whoa, this is not for them, this is for me. But sometimes that's also what happens when it's for both of you, where a message will pop up and you're like, oh, it's for them, but this actually also makes sense to me, you know? But yes, try it. Yeah, but I just got the urge to talk about it, so yeah. Now I'm gonna probably do a reading, because that's what I was gonna start doing, but then I was like, I can't do it until I do this video because it's gonna feel wrong. I just had to let it all out. Okay, peace out, Girl Scouts. Okay, one last thing, because I just watched the video again. I messed up the whole example, which is like, at least get the example right. And what was my example? Oh, I was saying that some people get a detail wrong from reading from somebody because they're just interpreting what they can, and people are always, you know, on their ass, like, well, if you're a reader, then read for me, but read right and read detailed, and why aren't you telling me specific things and things. And it's always different for everybody. If we're in person, it's probably gonna be different than through a phone. And if we're I have this amount of experience, but this other reader has 10 years of experience, the messages are gonna be different. People themselves, everybody is their own individual, so the messages will be different. 3 people can see the same card and get 3 different messages. You know, it's all different for everybody. And basically, the example that I said was it's like saying, oh, I have do you have, well, I'm about to switch it up. Do you have 2 brothers and a sister? And then the person that you're reading for is like in their head or maybe out loud is like, well, you know, you're not a good reader because it's actually a mom. Oh, fuck, I messed up. It's actually, it was 2 brothers and a sister. So how do I switch that up a little bit? Oh, it was actually, you know, I actually have a dad and a brother and a sister. So you messed up that detail. Maybe I didn't have to explain that detail. But yeah, that's it. What else did I mess up? No, that's it. Trust your mind. Your mind is powerful. It's all there. when you start realizing how powerful your mind is, the things that your brain can do, then you'll start saying, oh, it's not that crazy that I can actually help somebody by with these cards, giving them some information for the past, present, or future. That's it. All right, now peace out, Girl Scouts.